Hey everybody, I'm Operatus, and today we're playing more Valheim. Today I'll be taking a look at some more quality of life mods. I covered this in a previous video, and I found a few more that I want to take a look at. These mods will provide subtle changes to the game, nothing that changes the overall core gameplay of it, just some small changes to the game that will provide some big improvements. So let's get into it. The first up is build camera. When you're working on a big build like my longhouse here, which I think turned out pretty well, you're going to run into times when you have to get above an object to place something above it or get a different angle on it, and to that you'll generally need to use scaffolding. We're all familiar. You bust out your hammer, you put up the scaffolding, and you climb up so you can get a better angle on whatever you're trying to build, because you need to come in from the top of it. What the build camera mod does for you is basically adds in a third-person drone camera that you can control and also build with. So all you need to do is equip your hammer and press B, and then you're in the build mode where you can fly around. You can press space to go up, you can pick control to go down, and you can build like normal to anything you can reach. It's just a way to get a better angle on things. Now the range of this is limited. It only goes to about what your normal building radius would be in the game. So you can't get too crazy and build way over here on the other side of your house while you're standing over here. You might still also need to use scaffolding to get high enough. Like up here, I can't just build. Right here I could though. Get down there and build these because that's where I can reach. This mod really comes in super handy though when you're building a build and you need to add on something above something. What I've also found is even more useful is in situations, let's say you're building something like these. You're building something like these here and you want to get it lined up with the ceiling. So you put that in there and then you want to get another piece down below it. And how do you really do that? Well, what I've found is the build camera mod is super great for that. You can press B and you can get low. Normally you'd have to like dig down or something like that, but you can get down into the ground, it clips through, you can put it right there without digging or anything like that. Really, really handy to build certain things in certain angles. That's mostly what I use it for, and it really, really helps out and speeds things along quite a bit. In a similar category of building, construction, and user interface mods is our second mod of the day, the Snap Points Made Easy mod. What this does is adds in snap points to your objects and lets you cycle through them using your keyboard instead of trying to aim. What that looks like is, let's say we're trying to build on a log pole here, and we're trying to build in the middle of it. Normally you'd have to go and grab a horizontal one here, and then try to aim right in the middle there, and try to get it to snap to the right spot. What this does is if you press right control, you'll activate the snap points, and then you can press left control and alt to cycle through different snap points. So if you press left alt, you'll cycle through different snap points on the destination object, and if you press left control, you'll cycle through the snap points on the object you're placing. So I'm just placing on the side there, I can place in the middle, or I can place on the end. Just that easy. So that lets you have a lot of control over where you're placing everything. You can still rotate around to get the right position there using your scroll wheel. But it adds a lot of usefulness, and you don't have to have the right angle on it just perfectly to get the right position on it. You can cycle through, you can even be aiming on the other side of it and still get a good angle on the direction you want that to go, which is really handy for when you're building and want to get just a precise, nice angle on everything, a precise position or snap point on the very top of the log, for instance, or in the middle of it if you're building that way. Very, very helpful, very, very useful. Our next mod kind of solves a problem that you might have run into in the game. It is the floating items mod. What this does is it allows every single item in the game to float on water rather than sinking to the bottom for some items. This is a very useful thing to have in the case right now because there is no diving underwater. I imagine they might add that as a feature in the game at some point in the future, but it doesn't seem like it's a huge priority for the developers right now. So I've used this mod to help reclaim things that I didn't want to lose to the depths of the water. Let's say your boat sinks while you're out traveling, and you want to get some loot that's dropped, let's say bronze or some bronze nails to the bottom of the ocean there. And you don't want to lose them. Normally, that would sink. With this mod, everything floats. So you can still get back those things that you might need, for instance, something very valuable like bronze or stone. Well, it's not so much stone, but you get the idea. Normally, some things float. Now everything floats, and it's actually quite helpful to be able to reclaim things. Until the developers add the ability for us to dive underwater and grab those things ourselves, I'll stick with the floating items mod. Thank you very much. Our next mod of the day is the Instant Monster Loot Drop mod. What this does is it removes the delay between killing a monster and it exploding and delivering those delicious resources to you. Normally when you kill something, you probably have noticed, it takes a minute, not a minute, but a couple seconds for the monster to drop what they have on them. With this one, no more waiting. You get the drops immediately. You don't have to stand around waiting for the death animation of the boars or whatever you happen to be hunting, anything like that. After killing, a couple hundred boars, waiting for them to drop their scraps or whatever you need from them, it kind of gets a little tedious having to wait all the time for it to drop what you need. With this mod, there's no waiting, you get the drops, and it actually feels pretty natural. You miss out on those little death animations, but it feels pretty good to smack something and get an instant return on your investment there. Our last mod of the day you've been seeing pretty much the whole time in this video, and it is the Better UI mod. What this does is it adds in a lot more detail in the user interface. So for instance, we now have star ratings on each of our things that we've upgraded. So we can see that has 2 upgrades just at a glance. Previously, it just had numbers listing the upgrades. Now you get a nice little graphical representation with stars there instead. It's subtle, it's not that big a deal. Most of it doesn't add anything new, it just kind of refines the way it looks in general. So it's kind of rephrased some of the buff there, upgrades there. It also has the armor and durability upgrades there showing exactly what you're getting. Also, it has more detail if you hover over the armor menu here. It has a lot more detail about your current stats related to armor. So it has your armor level there, but it also shows you your block power, your parry force. If I change into my other weapons here, you'll see that go up there. Now I have the parry of 30 there and the block power 58, parry bonus of 2x there. So it's a lot more information and the buffs are all right there. It's very, very helpful stuff. The nice thing about this too is that it's fully customizable. So there's certain aspects you don't like about it. You can change those. For instance, it also changes the way the HUD looks when you are in combat with an enemy. Let's see who we can find around here. So for instance, when we're in combat here with this guy here, we can see he's got a bigger, brighter name there. You can customize the font on that. You can see what level he is very easily there. And you get a fully detailed readout of his health right now. So you can see kind of a lot more information about them. And again, fully customizable. If you don't want that much detail, if you'd rather have the classic HUD, easily turn it off and nothing's lost there at all. Pretty cool. I don't like certain aspects of it, but I definitely will customize it to my liking there. The nice thing is that they give you those options in the config file. You can change pretty much any aspect that the mod adds. That's going to do it for our quality of life mods video today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, leave a like. If you have any quality of life mods you'd like me to cover in the future, let me know down below in the comments, or any other mods you might want me to take a look at. Happy to hear from you. If you're interested in seeing more Valheim, I stream every Friday and Saturday night on YouTube. Click the subscribe button, the bell icon, so you can be notified of when I go live if you want to see more Valheim. Anyways, thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Even though we've got like 0% done, I mean, is this one of those
0% done?
Is this?
Hold on. Come over here and say it to my
I mean,
face.
we really
Come
kind
over
of.
here. Wait. Come here. How much done? How much done?
Kind of almost 0.
Is 0% house behind me?
Almost.
Almost 0%. Oh, thanks a lot.
Point it.